Hi, Miley. You're finally returning home today, aren't you?
Yes, that's right. I should arrive at the house around 6 p.m. or so, give or take a few minutes.
Has it really been 5 whole years since you last visited? Are you very busy at your current job?
Yes, I guess it has been that long. This job requires me to travel abroad frequently. So yeah, it can be quite hectic and stressful at times. I'm on the road right now. I hope there's enough space for me to park my car when I get there. If not, I may have to leave it down the street at the parking garage that charges by the hour.
Don't worry about that. There's usually a spot open for you. You can park it there without any problem. Oh, that reminds me of something. Do you remember those sweets you brought home when you were here 5 years ago? I remember they were really delicious and tasty.
Oh yeah, those sweets. Yeah, they were pretty good. I'm surprised you still remember them after all this time.
I wonder if they're still available in the market.
They are quite popular among the customers. I'm sure they still make them and sell them.
Could you do me a favor and pick up some of those for me on your way here?
Sure, I can do that for you. Oh yeah, Mom, there was something I wanted to ask you about.
What is it that you want to ask me?
It's about Cheyenne. I heard from someone that you're sort of acting a little bit rude and unfriendly to her. Is that true?
Excuse me? What are you talking about?
It's just something I heard from a friend of mine who lives nearby. She told me that my younger brother's wife was having a hard time living with you, that you were mistreating her and making her life miserable.
Who told you that? I bet it was Caroline down the street, wasn't it? That's not true at all. I treat her the same way I treat everyone else.
She said you're making her do all the housework by herself, and she suffers verbal abuse from you on a daily basis.
All I'm doing is giving her a little life lesson. As an experienced mother, that's all she needs. Someone to teach her how to cook and clean properly, right? Cheyenne is still young and naive. She really has an adequate experience as a married woman. I can't believe people saw it that way. Mistreating her? Please. I would never do such a thing. But you know what? If such rumors are really going around, maybe I should come out and say it.
What is it that you want to say, Mom?
To be honest, I really can't bring myself to like Cheyenne. I know Boston could find someone a lot better than her. I think she's just using my son for his money and status.
Huh? Are you serious? Mom, you sound like some conspiracy nut. Cheyenne seems like a really nice and kind person, if you ask me.
Why do you have to take her side? You're my daughter, aren't you?
I'm not taking anybody's side here. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying you guys all live together under the same roof, so it would be advantageous to all of you if each of you give and take a little and find some common ground.
All right, I got it. I suppose if I just keep quiet and mind my own business, people won't see me as a mean old mother-in-law.
I'm being serious here, Mom.
Yes, I know. I'll try my best to be a better mother-in-law.
I should be there by 6 or 7.
Yes, all right. Drive carefully and safely. Cheyenne, where the hell are you right now? I've been looking for you all over the house.
I was just vacuuming the living room. Your daughter's coming home today, so I wanted the place looking spotless and tidy. Is there anything you need from me?
Yes, my daughter. I was just online with her. She has a lot to say about you. Or should I say, she scolded me and gave me a piece of her mind.
She said something about me? What did she say?
So you've been spreading gossip around the neighborhood that I've been mistreating you? That I'm making you work like a slave against your will?
I would never spread such rumors. That's not true at all.
Don't you lie to me, young lady. I never did anything to harm you. All I did was discipline you and teach you some manners, so you would do a better job at cleaning and cooking. Just passing down what I learned from my mother when I was your age.
I'm sorry. I'm still not up to par with all the household chores. I assure you, I'll do better to improve my skills.
I'm not asking you to be an expert or a professional. All I'm saying is just do the basic chores, that's all. Your cooking is horrendous and inedible. Your cleaning is always incomplete and sloppy. And when you do the laundry, all the clothes end up wrinkled and stained. How can you even call yourself a housewife? Do you even realize the inconvenience and trouble you are causing to me and my son?
I'm doing my best. I really am.
Well, it doesn't seem that way to me at all. It all seems half-baked and careless. I don't believe you can make my son happy or satisfied.
Please forgive me. I will do better, I assure you. I will work harder and smarter.
It's too late to apologize. I want you out of this house right this minute, as punishment for spreading lies and slander about me all over the neighborhood. No dinner for you tonight.
I don't recall spreading such rumors. I don't know who told you that.
Shut your mouth. Don't you dare come back tonight. Stay at some other place. Just stay away from here. Sleep at the park or under a bridge. I don't want you here tonight.
But I was just trying to...
I don't want to hear it. Just get out of here. Oh, and don't take any money with you. My punishment of no dinner will have no meaning if you buy yourself some food.
All right, if you insist, I'll leave.
Hello, Cheyenne. Are you okay to talk? I've been trying to reach you for a while.
Hello, Miley. It's been a long time. Good to see you're back home again. How was your trip?
Yeah, thanks. I just got home a little while ago. It was a long and tiring drive.
Really? That's great. Must feel good to go home after such a long time.
I just drove by the park on my way here and saw you digging through the trash bin. Were you looking for something? Did you lose something there?
Yeah, I was just looking for something.
I was going to stop and say hello, but I couldn't find a parking spot, so I figured I would see you at home. But you never showed up. I could go back and help you find whatever you're looking for. Maybe it's still there?
No, really, it's nothing. I wouldn't want to inconvenience you. You must be tired from your journey.
Don't be like that. We're family now, so you can tell me anything. What are you looking for?
I was looking for some food. I thought there might be food someone left behind in the trash bin, so please don't mind me, Miley.
Wait, could you repeat what you just said? Did you say food?
Yeah, you know, the 7-Eleven is nearby. Figured there might be some food scraps in there, so maybe make some leftover snacks or sandwiches.
Oh, I get it. You were looking for food scraps for the birds, is that it? You're such a kind person, Cheyenne.
No, nothing like that. I wasn't looking for food for the birds.
So what were you doing? Looking for food for yourself?
It's for me. I'm being starved. I haven't eaten anything in 2 days.
Say again? What did you say? What's going on here? Why are you being starved?
Well, yes, it's just that. It's just that your mother won't let me eat anything. She's punishing me for something I didn't do.
Does this have to do with how my mom is mistreating you? Is she abusing you?
I really shouldn't say anything. It's not my place to complain.
Come on, Cheyenne, you've told me this much. Just come out and tell the whole story. The reason you told me that much can only mean you're reaching out for help. Well, I'm here to help you, Cheyenne, so let that cat out of the bag. I'm right, aren't I? You need my help.
I was told that I had spread rumors around the neighborhood that I was being mistreated by your mother. She said that you told her that you scolded her for it.
My God, she said that? All I said was I heard some rumors from a local friend and asked her if it was true. She, of course, denied it. She said she was treating you like her own daughter.
But I never said anything about you spreading those rumors. I never said anything bad about your mother, I swear.
Yes, of course. I know you're not the kind of person to do such a thing. You're always so polite and respectful. Anyway, thanks for believing me. I'm not sure if my mom purposely twisted my words knowing that I'd said or just took it at face value. I never should have mentioned it. It made things worse. I'm really sorry, Cheyenne. I didn't mean to cause you any trouble.
Please, you're not to blame. You were just concerned about me, and I appreciate that.
Now that you told me, can I ask you a little bit more about your situation? About you digging through the trash earlier? How long has this been going on?
Yes, that your mother won't allow me to eat anything as punishment. She says I don't deserve any food. But when Boston is home, everything is pretty normal. She acts like nothing's wrong. But when he's late or on a business trip, she'd have dinner as usual. And then she would throw all her leftovers away in front of me. She took possession of my bank book and cash card. So I'm constantly without money, unable to buy food on my own.
I see. If you have no money and no card, you can't even use your smartphone as a payment method. You can't order any food online or use any apps.
Yes, that's right. So I was digging through the trash looking for scraps of food. I hate doing it, but I had no other choice. I was so hungry and desperate.
Well, that's good to hear. So you didn't really eat any of that stuff, right? You didn't eat anything from the trash bin, did you?
No, not yet at least. I was just looking for something edible.
Not yet. This happened before. This is not the first time you've been starved.
The day before yesterday, Boston was ordered to go on a business trip for 2 weeks. He left in a hurry and he didn't have time to say goodbye.
Wait, he's gonna be gone for 2 weeks? That's a long time.
This is the longest that he'll be gone. I've never had to endure that this long. I don't know what I'm going to do. My parents passed away when I was young. I have no home to go back to, and I have no one to help me.
Wait a second. Don't tell me you haven't eaten in 2 days. Why didn't you say that earlier? I'm headed over there right now. Wait there by the park entrance. I'm coming to get you.
All right, I'll be there. Thank you, Miley. Thank you so much.
Cheyenne, are you there? Are you doing okay? I've been worried sick about you.
Hello? Miley? Yes, I'm fine. Thanks so much for getting me this hotel room for the night. It's very comfortable and cozy. And thanks for dinner, too. I must have seemed like a hungry child. I ate everything you gave me. I'm really sorry. And that $300 you lent me? I'll pay it back as soon as possible, I promise.
Forget about all that. Did you get a little rest? You looked exhausted.
Yes, definitely. I feel much better, thanks to you. You're so kind and generous.
You can have breakfast at the diner across the street after you check out tomorrow. So get your fill before I pick you up. I'll text you again in the morning to confirm the time.
Thanks for everything, Miley. You're a lifesaver.
Oh, yeah, and I contacted Boston and told him everything. That idiot, he had no idea about any of this. Man, you can't live with them.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to worry him. He was just so busy with work and all. I've never had to talk to him about any of this. I thought I could handle it on my own.
I sent him all the conversation texts regarding this whole message, but he is furious about it now. He can't believe what his mother has done to you.
Oh, so that's why he called earlier, saying he was really sorry and he was on the verge of tears. He sounded so upset and angry.
Oh, so he read the whole thing already, huh? Well, good for him. He finally knows the truth.
Yeah, seems like it. He said he talked to his boss about having urgent family members, and he finally got permission to come back for a while. He said that he'll arrive tomorrow at noon, and he said that he wanted to see me as soon as possible.
Okay, so everything is ready to go. We'll get the operation in motion tomorrow afternoon. My mom's going to be across town tomorrow for her women's luncheon, so she won't be back till later. So that's our chance to get the ball rolling and confront her.
Right. I won't ever forget this, Miley. You're the best sister-in-law ever.
We're not done yet. Let's leave the festivities for later. We still have a lot of work to do.
Miley, are you still asleep? You should get up and enjoy the day.
Good morning, Mom. I'm awake now. I was just resting my eyes for a bit.
I'm off to a luncheon with my friends today. We're going to that new restaurant that opened last week.
The one you were talking about the other day, right? The one that serves exotic dishes from around the world? Well, have fun. You said you'll be back around 6 p.m. No change there?
Yes, that's about right. Okay, I'm off. See you later. Don't forget to feed the cat and water the plants.
All right, drive carefully and have a nice luncheon, Mom. Say hi to your friends for me.
Cheyenne, where the hell are you? Answer me. I just got home to find all Boston's and your stuff gone. The place is practically empty. There's nothing left but some dust and cobwebs. What's this about? Explain yourself right this minute. I don't have time for this nonsense, Cheyenne. Are you seeing this? Are you seeing what you've done?
Mom, are you there? Can you hear me?
Miley, where have you been? I've been trying to reach you for hours. Something is not right at home. Do you know anything about this? Did you have anything to do with this?
I'll explain everything to you, Mom. So hold your horses. Don't jump to conclusions. Boston and Cheyenne have moved out. They no longer live there. They packed their bags and left.
Wait, what? What are you saying? That doesn't make any sense. I can understand Cheyenne moving out. She was always a troublemaker. But Boston too? That can't be. He's my son, and he loves me. Anyway, he's on a business trip now. How could he move out? He's not even here.
He took some time off and came back to help move. He flew back as soon as he heard what was going on. Boston is furious how she treated Cheyenne. He had no idea what was happening. In fact, he was in tears when he heard what you did to her. I feel the same way. I was away for 5 years. Maybe I never should have come back. But then again, I would never have known about Cheyenne. So in the end, it worked out. But I never want to return again, to be honest. I can't stand to look at you.
But... Oh, come on, Miley, relax. It's not what you think. I never treated her that badly. I really don't know what I did wrong. I was just trying to teach her some discipline and respect. She was always so lazy and incompetent.
Well, let me explain something to you real simple like so you can understand. Boston and I are infuriated by the way you treated Cheyenne. The way you deprived her of food. Taking her money away from her? Making her sleep on the floor? We concocted a plan to help her escape from this hellhole. When you were gone on your little luncheon with the girls, we set our plan into motion and got their stuff out of the house. Now that they've been liberated, they never plan to return. They're starting a new life somewhere else.
This is some sort of a prank, right? You can't be serious. Please, you can't do this. This is my family. You can't take them away from me.
Oh, and the reason why I came back after 5 long years? The reason why I decided to show up after all this time?
Ugh, what do you mean, reason? You're just back for a visit, right? You're just here to catch up and see how things are going, right?
The reason I'm back is to ask you to move out of that house. The house you've been living in for the past 5 years. The house that belongs to Dad.
Move out? What are you even talking about? This is my house. I've been living here for years. I'm not going anywhere.
You do know that this house is still in Dad's name, right? 5 years ago, you divorced Dad, but you refused to move out. You said you had nowhere else to go. So Dad, out of the kindness of his heart, arranged it so that you would pay $600 a month rent to continue living there. A bargain, if you ask me, considering the market value of the house.
Excuse me? What rent? I never paid any rent. I never agreed to any rent. What are you talking about?
Figures. You had no idea about the whole arrangement at this time. Boston paid $400 a month and I covered the rest. We paid the rent for you. Boston wanted to take Cheyenne and move out, but with having to pay the rent on the house, he was forced to stay. He couldn't afford to pay for 2 places. Anyway, getting back to what we were talking about. About Dad, a lot has happened in the 5 years since he divorced you. He decided to set things straight regarding the inheritance. And that's where that house comes in. The house you've been living in for the past 5 years. Dad asked me to come down here and talk to you about this whole arrangement and what we would do going forward, but as soon as I arrived, I found out about this abuse, this mistreatment of Cheyenne. And that changed everything. Although I was all set to make some sort of accommodation and give you some leeway, but we came to the conclusion that none of that was needed. So as the first step, I had Boston and Cheyenne escape from that house.
How could you? I'm your mother, for God's sake. You can't do this to me. You can't betray me like this. Why are you always on your dad's side anyways? You're my daughter. You should back your mother up. That's always been the way your father abandoned me to live with another woman. I bet you didn't know that before we got divorced. When I found out about their relationship, can you imagine how hurt I was? I was in a depression for months afterwards. And now you plan to confiscate this house for me? I'm the victim here. How cruel does someone have to be to do such a thing? And you're my daughter. You should be on my side. As payment for the suffering he brought to me, I demand that he hands over this house to me as compensation. I will never leave this house. This house is mine. Never will I hand over this house to a double-crossing traitor.
Wow, where did that come from? You got it all backwards, Mom. You don't know what you're talking about. Dad met his current wife after he divorced you. He didn't leave you for another woman. The reason he divorced you was because of your selfishness and disregard for others. Always looking out for number one. You always put yourself first and make everyone else miserable.
My selfishness? I never did anything wrong. I was always a good wife and mother. I always took care of the house and family.
No use explaining things now, but we've already made the decision. Mom, you're out of that house like it or not. You can't stay there any longer. You have to leave now.
You can't be serious. Where the hell am I going to go? I have nowhere else to go. My folks are gone. They passed away a long time ago. I have no real close relatives to return to. I have no friends that would take me in. What do I do? Where do I go?
I'll introduce you to a live-in job. A job where you can live and work at the same place, all inclusive. Boston's boss had some connections and found you the perfect position. I'd take it if I were you. It's a small fish processing factory up north called East Fisheries. They need a supervisor for their employee dormitory. It also includes cooking and cleaning for the workers. It's not a bad deal. You'll have a roof over your head and a steady income.
Ace Fisheries? That sounds familiar. Where have I heard that name before? Oh, I remember. Is that place where they send the troublemakers and the dropouts? The ones who can't find any other jobs? The one who has no future. But live-in? No way, I can't do that. I can't live in a place like that. I'd rather you take me in. You are my daughter. You take care of me. It's the least you can do for your own mother after all I've done for you.
That's not happening. You can't live with me and you can't expect me to take care of you. You're not my responsibility, and you're not welcome in my home.
Why? I'm sure you have enough room now that my son has abandoned me. He left me all alone with you. He betrayed me. He chose that ungrateful girl over me, his own mother. It seems that the only other option is for my eldest daughter to take it upon herself to look after her poor mother. That only seems fair.
Sorry, Mom, I'm getting married. I'm getting married to the love of my life. He is going to be transferred overseas for a few years at least, so I'll be joining him. So no way can you live with me. I'm leaving this country.
You mean married? You're getting married? To whom? To that guy you met online? How could you do this to me, Miley? How can you leave me alone?
I suggest you to take up the offer from Ace Fisheries. You'll have a place to live. You can work and have 3 meals a day. What more can you ask for? You should be grateful you even have such a choice.
I remember where I'd heard this. Ace Fisheries. A friend's delinquent son ran into some trouble with the law, and one night a black van arrived at their home and took him away. He was gone for several years. No one knew where he was or what he was doing. Then one day, he returned a completely changed man. A polite, well-groomed man. He said he had learned his lesson. And he said he had a new job at Ace Fisheries. I can't go there. Please, Miley. I'm frightened. The black van. It's sitting right outside my door. It's waiting for me. What am I going to do? Miley, please help me. Miley, please don't do this. Please don't send me away.
After that, she screamed and cried when that van arrived at her house, but she had no choice but to pack her few belongings and be taken away. She arrived at the site after a long and bumpy ride and started work the very next morning, which involved cooking and cleaning for the other workers. Most of them were women who had been working there for years, and they were the ones who ran the show. They were tough, resilient, and no nonsense, and they had no patience for anyone who complained or slacked off, especially a spoiled old woman like her. She would flinch and cower when one of those fierce women even looked at her. A self-centered attitude was a liability in a place like that. But all things considered, I think she's better off there. It will teach her a thing or two about life. Maybe those women will make her see the error of her ways. As for Boston and Cheyenne, they rented a small apartment near where my dad lives, and they see each other often. I hear Cheyenne gets along great with Dad's new wife. I hope things work out for them. Me? I'm getting married in the summer and then heading to Europe for a few years. Maybe I'll finally be able to visit Paris. It's gonna be an adventure.